As we've been mentioning, Germany's parliament has given the green light to a move aimed at loosening the government's borrowing limits to funnel billions of euros into defence. The plan, piloted by incoming Chancellor Friedrich Merz, passed narrowly in the Bundestag today, with 513 lawmakers saying yes. That's 24 more than the two-thirds majority needed. Well, the vote means the country will be lifting its foot off its debt brake enshrined in the Constitution, which limits its yearly borrowing to just over 0.35% of the country's GDP. Well, let's speak to Nick Holdsworth, France 24's correspondent in Berlin. Nick, just lay out for us what exactly the lawmakers agreed to.
They've agreed to a combined package, indeed, around €5 billion for defence, for the rearmament that Europe must undergo now in the face of Russian aggression on its eastern borders and the lack of American support in the last couple of months since Trump was inaugurated as 47th president in the USA. The package is a little bit wider than that. There's 500 billion also for infrastructure projects, 100 billion of which will be for combating climate change and for economic reforms. That was the cost of the support of the Green Party in this vote. And it has indeed been quite a controversial measure. Some people welcoming this influx of money through borrowing that will come into the German economy, and others saying this is a dangerous experiment with Germany's long-standing tradition of keeping debts within a very small limit of total GDP. The move was condemned by the AfD, the Alternative for Deutschland, the far right-wing party, with its leader, Alice Weidel, walking out in disgust, with a very obvious look of disgust on her face from that debate today. And the importance of this debate and this vote today was that it was getting these difficult measures through in the current parliament, where Friedrich Merz could muster the required two-thirds majority, because that won't be the same in the next parliament, which convenes in just a week's time. It's going to be a smaller parliament, about 100 seats smaller, so about 630 seats versus today's 736. And the majority won't be there because the large number of people who voted for the AfD, that will be the second place party, quite a large contingent of the far left Die Linke party, and it would be virtually impossible to get these measures through in just 1 week's time. The measures do need to be ratified by the Bundesrat on Friday. That's the upper house, and that's likely to go ahead without any further controversy.
Well, Nick, we have been hearing some reaction. We've had President Macron speaking just a little earlier, describing the vote as good news. Talk to us about the other bits of reaction that have been coming in.
There's been a very positive reaction from the markets. Indeed, before today's vote, the German stock exchanges had come up a little bit after some of the battering that stock markets around the world have had since President Trump started his trade war a few weeks ago. And indeed, the euro is at a 5-month high today. So clearly the markets see this as good news. The German economy has been in recession for the last couple of years, and the influx of money will basically give a Keynesian boost to the German economy, which should help assuage some of the fears of people in this country for the lifting of that debt brake. Some of the commentators have been saying, well, the debt brake might have made sense in 2008 when Angela Merkel instituted it in the face of the then economic downfall across the world. But in today's fast-moving economic and fast-moving geopolitical situation, having such a curb on government borrowing does not make sense. So it's likely, if the markets are right, that Merz will find himself a winner on something which was a very controversial vote for Germany.
Nick, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed there. Nick Holdsworth reporting live from Berlin. Now it's